You nervous?
Absolutely not. Israelites never nervous, man. They better not be if they know what they've been talking about.
How the fuck do you get this? So you gonna be like, if they were like, yo, hey, we want you regional manager of this new spot.
Absolutely not.
Pays $90,000 a year.
Not to go live out in the fire.
Oh, there it goes. Part of my unofficialism.
You know, it's kind of reason why I said don't get me wrong, 90,000 is good money.
Yeah.
But things that's going on right now is things that's more deeper than money. You know what I mean? So we did the money thing, man, when we was in the streets, when we was younger. And so there's many more things that's gonna come to our people anyway, besides working for somebody else for 90,000. A lot of this stuff we gonna own. They gonna be working for us. When people embrace that fact and realize it, then we'll be ready as a people to inherit what we got, what we got coming to us. But when we continue to work for people and then pour the money right back into them, obtaining our own, they continue just getting rich because we already built the company that we working for rich. And then we spend the money back on things that they own, and we don't even own it. So now they just continue to get rich, and that's where you get the term "the rich get richer."
Oh shit! I know something you can bring back. Another present.
Yo, yeah.
Yeah. Put this to the right.
Something fell before you tried to say, "Man, that Israelite nigga did it."
Bless me. I feel like this is it's not an expensive gift, right?
Right.
But the meaning of this gift, and you can take it back to the plane, be worth it. You know what I'm saying? So, I imagine you're gonna take the small shot.
I'll take just a small shot.
Okay. You ain't gonna wait. How you gonna start drinking before I give you the gift?
This feels like I don't even gotta open this. This feels like the D&D dice. This is exactly what this feels like. This is exactly what this feels like. D6s and there we go. D12s and was that only D4? All right, that's what I'm about to say. I know it's got to be 8, right?
D20, D6,
D20, D6. I said my count was off. I knew we had the D20. Oh man. Dang. Yes, sir. I'm gonna have to go ahead and start making the board games up and stuff for my son, man. I'm gonna have to now. Got the D. I think I still got some of our own character sheets.
It's somewhere in there. I was trying to look for it.
I still got some.
That had the greatest character though?
No.
What?
No, Terrain was not the greatest character.
What? Oh!
Hear me out. Terrain was not the greatest character. Killer Sean was not the greatest character. He's one of the charismatic ones though. I'm gonna say what Terrain brought to the table was different.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm gonna say, what he brought to the table was different because you thought off the charts.
Uh-huh.
So his character was very interesting. Mm-hmm. Was he powerful? I think you could have made him more powerful.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Was I allowed to have the power? You gotta think, y'all had the +10s, the plus, excuse me, y'all had the +5s and all that shit. And I wasn't allowed to have none of that shit because I was a broke nigga. Just
no, because we didn't spend money to get them characters. I will say, I remember when you made your character. I said, man, franchise we getting some shitty roles. So that might have been the case, because you was getting some shitty roles, and remember I rolled for my bow, and I said, man, I had rolled and got that plus on it, man, and was getting those extra defeats.
Yeah, you was getting like 18, 16. I'm like, yo, and we didn't have rolls. We had the spinner.
The spinner. Well, right. We had the spinner. I was getting good spins, man. We had the spinners. Right, because we had what was the man name that used to do carpentry? Hayek.
Ian.
I thought it was Hayek.
It was Ian Blair. Myself.
So Ian made it.
Myself.
But he had Hayek was the carpentry CO.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And so the reason why I was saying Hayek, because I remember Ian had to get permission from Hayek though. And yo, what was my man from Ohio that used to work with Mr. Hayek too? Used to work in Unicorn. Baldhead brother from Ohio. Black brother was baldhead.
See, I remember the baldhead from Chicago.
Used to wear the glasses.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, he's from Cleveland.
From Cleveland.
Straight con man,
but he was cool as hell. But straight con man. Man, I forgot his name. He was cool, man.
See, and you know what? That's what, yo, them dudes showed me, like, I was broke as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And them dudes showed me, hey, yo, I got you.
I met him through you because he liked franchise, man. He liked Frank, man. And then me and him got cool.
He said, you're too innocent to be in this motherfucker. I'm like, what are you talking about? I was like, yo, my knuckles are bloody too.
No, but that's because of your demeanor, man. Your humility, man. Like you a humble dude, but you knew not to. Certain people knew you can't get on his bad side.
Oh yeah,
because it's gonna be problems. And I was in that boat to a certain extent. Like people felt like I was a cool dude. Mm-hmm. But they didn't know
how to read
I had a line, how to read it.
Yeah.
So some people went over that line, and then had to find out, yo, this dude get bad.
Yo, I remember, right, when I was in the 8-man. You remember that?
Yeah.
And it was always me versus Reef. Yeah. Or was it a 10-man?
I think it was a 10-man.
Okay.
Because I had the DC brother or Cadillac or whatever his name is that was I slept on the top, so he slept on the bottom. Mm-hmm. It was you, Reef, the light skinned kid.
Yep.
I forgot his name. He was Muslim.
Yeah.
Forgot his name.
Uh-huh.
There was a chubby kid down there.
Yep.
Then we had the other DC dude that was dark skinned.
Yep.
Old head. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
He looked like he was a mechanic.
Yeah.
Car mechanic.
And he was giving game. Yo,
that Tin Man was pretty cool, man.
Yeah. And you gotta remember, look. So when we first met, right? Because me and Reefer used to always wrestle, and people used to take our split our sides and shit like that. I used to segregate, and then you said, "Yo, Frank," I said, "What's up? You on some bullshit?" I said, "What you mean?" It's like you always attacking the light skinned niggas. You're full of shit, nigga. I'm like that. Fuck that. From that moment on. Reef's little gang was called Light Skin Mafia. And my gang was called Dark Skin Army. I was like,
Dark Skin Army. Man. I couldn't think of it. I said, man, he right. I remember that. Dark Skin Army.
He's like, Frank, you too dark skin. I'm cool until it's time to play Bones. I don't want to play Bones for Light Skin.
Dark Skin Army. See, I forgot the light skins because, you
can't forget Reef.
Right, I can't forget Reef.
Because he was the capital of that shit.
Yep. But I forgot the name of them, but I remember the Dark Skin Army because, once you said the name, I didn't remember the name until you said it, though. But it came back to me instantly because, I'm dark skinned. So, I used to see it, I always been about my peoples, but light skinned dudes always been funny to me. So I was like, it's crazy. I said the brother going at these light skinned. That's a fact. That's a fact.
I was like, ain't y'all niggas supposed to have a Jerry? This is yours.
Yeah, I'm about to get my water back.
Ain't y'all niggas supposed to have a Jerry curl or something? Oh shit! I seen him, right?
No.
Oh my goodness, I seen him. And and the funny thing is, the way he ran up on me, like he was gonna rob me. I was, you know what I mean? And the funny thing is,
you seen him? He was down here?
Yeah, I was in Atlantic City.
Oh.
And see where you're at. Where we're at right now. DC's 2 hours away. Baltimore's probably an hour and 45 minutes away. Philly's an hour and a half away. So right now, that's why I say Lancaster's the shit. But like, even though we're not in Lancaster, because it's like 20 minutes away.
So I got a feeling about this spot right here, and I seen it when you took me through the town. Not to cut your wisdom short. When you took me through the town, I said this remind me of Geneva and Rochester. So Geneva and Rochester usually dudes from Niagara Falls, Rochester, New York, Buffalo, Syracuse. Everybody go up there hustle.
Yeah. So my town's kind of like Philly, New York infested. York City is across the river. That's where I dance at. You know what I mean? That's kind of Baltimore infested. You know what I mean? But like, this nigga act like he was gonna rob me, So like, I'm like, but I was broke as shit. This was like 6 years ago. I was broke as shit. I remember this chick broke my heart, and I was like, yo, man, I had a Chevy Cobalt, and that shit just like $20 fill up the tank, and you could go anywhere. And I just drive and go, and shit like that. So I drove to. I was like, yo, I got $300. You know what I mean? I already booked this hotel. Fuck, I'm gonna just see what the casino do. Alright? I only had $300 in my motherfucking name. So I go up there. And like, I'm not a flirt. But like, when I see a bunch of girls talking, I'll interrupt that conversation. Be like, well, how come this? And how come? And I can engage in shit like that. Right. And all of a sudden, this dude keeps on going like this to me. And I'm like, yo, what's your problem? He's like, you owe me money, nigga. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm not from around here. Who are you talking to? He's like, nah. See, you dark-skinned niggas act fucking funny. Click. I was like, oh, shit, yo. Right? So, like, boom. This motherfucker took me to a strip club. You know what I mean? He's like, you're in the wrong place. I was like, yo, this is dark. I'm broke. I'm just trying to, get us $1 million pussy for $5. Let me just do my dance. You know what I mean? He's like, nah, you gotta come with me. You gotta come with me. I said, I don't smoke though. He said, all right, don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You remember, I didn't realize, you know what I mean, that blood life is really like, you know, out there in Jersey and shit like that. But like, he's like breaking it down. Yo! He's like, yo. His cousin's light skin, his other cousin's dark skin. So they're like coming to me. The dark skin dude's like coming to me like, yo, I heard about you, yo. Yeah, you keep it real. Shit like that. And the other one's like, yo, they keep coming at me. Right. But it was so much fun and so much whatever. And he's like, yo, let me put you on. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, yo, I'll be back. You know, I'll be back. And what happened was something happened. This chick broke my phone, and you know, I lost his number. But like that's somebody I definitely. Yo, he just hit me up out the blue, and I even let me turn this volume off. This whatever off. Oh wait, that's not my phone. That shit. Is that my other phone?
No, that'd be your other phone. No, cause I ain't got that. I ain't got that chime on my phone.
So yeah, I'm sorry.
But I'm glad you said that. Let me put mine on vibrate because I sure forgot.
So he's like,
matter of fact, I'm just put it on silent.
And then I went to Baltimore, right? And see, I love Baltimore now. And like, you know, so when dudes, I like the harbor. Excuse me, I don't like Baltimore. I like the harbor.
Right.
You know, yo.
So what you like about it?
Jazz. You know what I mean? But like nobody from around this way, they're like, when they get to places like that, they act funny. You just can't just sit down. You know, sometimes you just sit down and just enjoy the music and, you know, have that drink. It's like, it gotta be extra. It gotta be this. And it's like, yo, so when I go out there, I just like, shh, like, where you at? Oh, whatever. You know what I mean? Because people ain't really good people. You know what I'm saying? Like, just, you know, it's like, yo, man, we gotta, nah, man, I'm enjoying the scene. Yo, listen, no, it's Baltimore. This shit don't close down at 4 o'clock. It's the harbor. You're going to get something before the end of the night. You don't even have to worry about that. You know, we just enjoy this part real quick because, you know, this is shit that these niggas was telling me when I was locked up that I got to see and I got to enjoy. I'm still in that phase. Now I'm able to, like, start enjoying life and shit like that. And so, like, you know, I haven't went to a go-go club yet. You know what I mean? But I bumped into Black in DC.
Oh man!
Yeah,
running into all.
Yeah, I bumped into. Guess, yo, and he
Cadillac
Black.
That was his whole name.
Yo, this motherfucker grabbed me, and you know what's funny? And he was like, I knew it. I knew it. White girl lover, this and that. And I went to tell him like, yo, this is not a date. This. She just says, yo, listen, hey, I'm going to DC, and I just don't want to go by myself and shit like that. Right. I knew all that shit you was talking, this and that. And I was like, yo, my man, it's not like that. But fuck the girl because she's like, you been in jail, you been this. She's like, and then this motherfucker, he's cold, he's stone cold snitchy. He's like, yeah, he been locked up, man. Man, his stupid ass done got hit for basketball in the motherfucking riot. Shit, I was like, how you get hit by a basketball in a motherfucking riot? Right. Man, hey, I was like, thank you, because that's the because the other thing
than one of the bocce balls.
Oh my goodness! Like I said, like when that riot happened, they did not. When they went into the gym, like I said, the black people in the gym held it down.
Right.
What happened outside in the yard?
Different story.
It was stone cold.
A massacre.
Yeah, I said, but I didn't see the massacre, but I heard the screaming.
No,
I'm gonna be honest. I
didn't see the massacre.
I heard that.
But the stories Lou was telling me, because he was out there on the court. Man, when Lou came out of the infirmary, out the hole,
he found God.
His knee had a whole nother head on his knee. Man, he got hit with one of them bocce balls, and he said I couldn't walk or nothing. Man, the Mexicans was running on me when they seen that they had a lame duck. He said they was running on me to get me, man. And he said if Rue and Dog wasn't right there, man, dropping the Mexicans left and right, he said they would have poked him up. He said, man, Rue and Dog saved him though. He said the Mexicans was, they only 5'6". You only had a few of them that was tall. He said, man, they was running up there, man. Rue was dropping them dudes left and right. Rue was a big giant. He was like one of the biggest dudes there.
See, my first riot was in Allenwood, right? And that's why, I won't say hard, but the people that transferred from Allenwood, they kind of fucked with me, right? Because of how I performed. You know what I mean? Because they said it was black versus white. Black versus Mexican. So we was able to get it in and shit like that. And when that tear gas started hitting and shit like that, and you couldn't see, but everything in my body said you better keep swinging these motherfucking shanks because if you stop, they're not. You know what I mean? It was just like a life or death situation. But the one in McKean, it pissed me off because it's it was only supposed to be the Bloods versus the Mexicans. You know what I mean? Because the Bloods already said fuck the Muslims and fuck the, was you there when the Muslims versus the Bloods? And they was you know what? Y'all keep your asses over here. Know what I mean? Okay.
Nope.
So the Muslims and the Bloods did not like each other. Which I'm pretty sure you felt the energy amongst them. You know what I mean?
Right.
And yeah, but so when they said the blacks that had nothing to do, it was the Bloods versus the Mexicans. I believe the hype. You know what I mean? I did, and I Crash Dummy Frank. That's all I can say. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Crash Dummy Frank, because it was you know what I mean? And the dude, and you know who it was? It was the tall dude from Philly. Right? He said, don't go outside. I don't want you to die. He said, I'm letting you know you're from PA. We are, and then I seen there was 4 dudes from, that wasn't Muslims. That was from Pittsburgh. They went in there. See, certain, and that's another thing too. Sometimes I'm quiet. But certain people that survived it, they didn't go in the motherfucking yard. They went to the basketball court. You know what I mean? And so when the Mexicans came to the basketball court, only 30 of them actually got there. But it's 150 of us. You know what I mean? So we won that, but we can't say we won that because it's they won the war, we won the battle. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? That's why I'm very and then it's part of the film is because the Bloods was y'all knew what was going on, but y'all didn't go outside. You know what I mean? Y'all stayed in the basketball. The ones that stayed on the compound after that bullshit happened and shit. Y'all stayed inside. Y'all stayed inside and shit like that. But y'all said fuck us. Right. Y'all said fuck us. We're gonna. You know what I mean?
See, and that kind of reminds me, even though this outside the realm, but it reminds me of when I read Mark 18. So it's a 7-day Adventist that I be talking to, man, at work sometimes, and he be a little disrespectful. Is
that Christian?
It's basically Christianity.
Okay.
It's a religion. So, but we read from the same book.
Okay.
But he believe in white Jesus and we all equal and all that. And I'm the book don't tell you that, man.
Okay.
It says God of Israel all the way through the book. And that he chose a certain people to be above all people, right? So listen, when I be kind of talking to you and talking to other people, if I'm talking to somebody else about the book and telling them something, I don't need you to come chime in with white Christianity or the 7-day Adventist stuff that you be talking about. I said, because now you messing their head up. I said, we not equal. And so he so he was hey yo, man, man, listen, man, I don't know what I'm talking about. You come in with this Israelite stuff, y'all come in with this hate and this black stuff. I said, first of all, it's not hate. I said, I said, when we talk about the book and tell you that this book really talking about a so-called black man, I said, rather if you don't want to believe it's African American or not, I said, we teaching hate because we teaching the truth. But these people whitewash these people of the book and made them white.
But
why it wasn't hate then?
Now, do you hear the reason why? They say after 8 generations. So basically they're saying like, you know, in 8 generations, it's been 8 generations and y'all turn your back on God, you know what I mean, and y'all practice this, whatever y'all choose to practice. Not just Hebrews, but like, not y'all, but like, you know, other realms of, you know, Christianity and shit like that.
Right.
So y'all can't say you're God's people or like God's chosen people, you know, because from my understanding, Christianity is not chosen; it was created, you know.
Right.
So, but the Jews that call themselves the Jewish people that call themselves Jews, they say, yo, it's because of 8 generations. You know, we took on this name. That 8 generation really mean. And I remember when I was in Ellenwood, they said, yo, listen, it doesn't matter how bad a fish is. If it produces fish after and is sick after 8 generations, the 8th generation is going to purify it. You know what I mean? This and that. And you know, you look at the black person's immune system as far as like, you know, the battle with syphilis, HIV, even though, you know, I believe it was created. I don't care what people say. You know, I don't think niggas in Africa was fucking monkeys and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it originated from Africa. Maybe a monkey had HIV and he took it and put it inside a human person. You know what I mean? Whatever. But like, and I don't think it you know, it was a gay thing either. I think it was like really like. And put in, I think it was organized. Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense.
So, but like, you know, to bring on the 8th generation shit, that really, like, cause that's the only thing I remember when I was learning fish farming in Allenwood. It was just like, yo, hey, 8 generations. I remember, what's his name again? Hike. He was like, yo,
he remember that.
You know what I mean? When he was talking that shit about the Amish, he always spoke with he always spoke on generations and how they always stay the same. I actually worked with the Amish.
Right.
But yo, listen, I got something to show you. You know what I mean? I want to see your reaction because you know I feel like, you know, it was a time where I was broken, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't got the date, but I'm pretty sure I can find the date. 2018. You know what I mean? And I was a broke dust. If you see the background and shit like that, right? And you say you didn't watch it, but I send it to you, so I'm gonna let you see it. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's only 45 seconds.
You money because of me, yo. And I told me to cut size and I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
You're a big dumb sort. You're the people that dudes ain't got no loyalty or integrity. They don't got no sense of paying their debts or taking care of the people that want to take care of them. Mm-hmm. They rather steal and do stuff for the people that take care of them and try to look out. That spiritual walk take a lot of willpower because you might find out stuff whatever way you find out that there's stuff that you used to do or like to do that you shouldn't be doing. You know what I'm saying? And change it then if you really plan on serving whatever you plan on.
And that's the last time we spoke, sir. To you, King Fred. I was like, oh shit. And the reason why that was the last time we spoke, but like, yo, I'm gonna be honest, yo, at that time in my life, I really just needed a brother to like talk. You know what I mean? We remember the conversation was actually 15 minutes, but like that was only 45 seconds.
45 seconds.
Yeah, and it was just like, yo, at that time in my life, I was just like, yo, damn, I gave this person my all, helped this person recover from a life-threatening trauma, and I never focused on myself. You know what I mean? And you know, when people switch up for whatever reason or whatever justification, at the end of the day, I never gave a fuck because I know that, yo, you switched up, and I didn't even have to entertain you, but you switched up. You know what I'm saying? And that was the most broken I have ever been. I'd never been broken in prison.
Right.
I've been broken in 2018, where it's like, dang man, I'm just trying. I gave this person my, whatever, and it's because of you. You know what I'm saying? That little 15-minute conversation last time we spoke and shit like that, and you're doing your shit and this and that, and like and like sometimes I want to tell people like, yo, you know what, man, my family is not the family you think it is. It's you know what I mean? It's luck, it's bond. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how you feel when I say this name, but you know what I mean? He's like my drunken cousin. It's Dre. You know what I'm saying? Because like you gotta remember, a lot of people didn't like him. But that was like, that was, you was my brother. That was my cousin. You know what I mean? That was my older cousin. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's
and,
like...
Dre, man, listen. Drunk or not, like, I don't... For one thing I always learned is mercy and forgiveness. Right? Because, for one, if you expect, regardless of what you believe in, if you expect God, no matter what you call him, you expect God to forgive you for certain things. One thing I learned is that I got to know how to forgive other people if I'm going to ask the Most High to forgive me, right? So I don't hold what a person does or do to make me not like them. Because I once was that person. You know what I'm saying? I once was that person. So how can I look down on somebody? So if when Dre used to be drunk, that's still my dude.
Yo, I just noticed. I know to stay the fuck away.
And I know to stay away from at a certain time.
Or it was like. I had to put my head down, right? Because sometimes I could, like I said, I wasn't getting letters and shit like that when I was locked up. I got holiday letters or holiday cards or something like that. You know what I mean? So like, I put my head down. I was like, this nigga's gonna get me drunk. Shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, right. I'm like, yo, this nigga, like, cause like, he, for some reason, he's Dre. Let's just say that. But like, and to know him is to love him. You know what I mean? Even in his fucked up race, he's like, but franchise, you need this. He's like, you need this. And I'm like, you know what? I do need a motherfucking drink.
The most she was going to do with Dre, man, was argue, if anything. That was the most she was going to do. And sometimes he'd say something that had you real pissed off.
Yeah.
But you wasn't going to get violent with Dre because Dre wasn't going to get violent with you. No. He was going to talk his shit, don't care how you feel. He
was going to get violent for you.
But he was going to get violent for you.
You know what I'm saying?
And listen, man. Nigga, nobody don't never want to, and nobody don't never want to be in jail. But the family I built with dudes in there, man, with you, with Lou, with Dre, man. Listen, man, you can't replace that.
Yo, I guess
you can't replace that time with nothing, man. Them times where we was around, I wasn't locked up.
We wasn't.
I wasn't locked up.
Yo, here's the funny thing, like, yo, I want to replace it. I want to replace it a day in my motherfucker. Not one day.
Right.
Whether that was in Ellenwood or McKean. Fuck that shit. Like, I remember you, because you used to read The Sword of Truth before I got it. Because, and it was funny because I worked the library, everybody, and you was like, and you had your little connect, and I'm like, why the fuck is he getting these books before me? Cause I was like, yo, I read them faster. Why the fuck? He's like, nah, Frank, cause you're gonna talk about it. And this and that. And he was like, yo, I remember when you gave me the 7th book of The Sword of Truth. And he's like, I don't want to give you this book. I said, why? Cause you're gonna apply it. And I remember shit. Man, and, wow. Who was and it's funny, right? Because it was the gay teacher, right? And this is why I
know you're talking about too. I forgot.
Yo, he always had everybody's back. You know what I mean?
He was supposed to be a fruit, man.
Really? Listen, I'm a firm believer of like, yo, I don't care what your preference is. Just you know what I mean? Just treat me with respect. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And when you do that, I would treat you with respect. And and then to treat me with kindness on top of that, he didn't have to. And he told us, yo, these people, whatever.
Hey.
And man, you will remember this, right? And you know what I mean? Because like, you won't remember this story. So the dude took he took my, you know, because the gay dude will allow me to make the print up the porn and to print up the Dungeons and Dragons shit so we could play. And the teacher, he was the teacher, you know, I'm gonna stop referring to him as that. The teacher would allow me to do that, and we was walking, we was talking, and the dude that worked the kitchen or something like that, or next to the kitchen, bald head dude, had a tattoo, rare breed. You know what I mean? He said, Brown, come here. And I'm like, I'm not going over. I knew I was dirty. I'm like, yo, man. No, in my head, I'm like, yo, I already booked. I got 30 stamps coming. You know what I'm saying? It's all I had. I was like, yo, I got 30 stamps coming, man. Fuck this shit. You know, I'm gonna go to the hole for this shit. And he was like, yo, Frank, you're about to go home. And I was like, man, okay. So like, you know, and the funny thing is, you waited there. He seen it, he took it, and then he gave it back. He said, yo, I want you to do, he said, you come back after this, whatever. He said, you come back down here, you want to spend the whole time cleaning. And like, I was like, I ain't going to be no motherfucking nigga. You know, I was like, I knew I said, I ain't going to be this motherfucker white man's monkey. He's like, I was like, fuck this halfway house and shit like that. And I'm going to tell you something, a keynote to that. You know what I mean? I'm the first black person that got over 6 months halfway house that didn't rat. You know what I'm saying? And it's because, you know what I mean? It's because of what you said. Like, yo, go in there and just clean. Like, Frank, all you got to do is clean up. Just clean up, motherfucker, because he's going to take away your whole halfway house and shit like that. So you remember the black warden? You remember the black warden?
That was the one from Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
he used to come in that jail, and he was the first Obama. He was the first Obama inside the jail that I met. I said, man, this dude come around here like he Obama.
Yo, shit. And he
what was his name?
I forgot. You know what I mean? But all I remember is when you know, he took all the D&D stuff, right?
No.
Yeah, he's like, y'all trying to start a business in prison. Because like, you remember, because I'm gonna tell you, Von said, this is why I felt I would never ever leave that nigga. You know what I mean? Because he was the first person that made me think big. You know what I mean? One of the first people. Like, first of all, this is why I say people that I was locked up with. Me personally, I never thought I was shit. I thought I was the shit in my head. You couldn't tell me nothing. Like, shut the fuck up. But like, I never thought I was worth shit until I went in there and met guys like you and Von and all this. That's why I would never ever eat. Drake could call me fucking 3 o'clock in the morning, and when he does, I answer. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm gonna be honest, I do. I'll be like, yo, hey, bro, what's up, man? And it could be a good Dre. It could be a whatever Dre. It could be whatever. You know what I mean? If you look at my phone, it's nothing but my call log. Oh, look, damn. Minus that girl, but it's nothing but Von. You know, it's nothing but like, you know, well, you in there, but like, you know, mainly, you know, but you know, that's like little bro for life. But like, you know what I'm saying? But like you said, yo, hey, Frank, you got a chance to go home and shit like that. And here's some, yo, I remember, like, Ian said, Marcelli, you remember Marcelli? Ian Blair, white bald headed dude, the first DC sniper. Oh, you don't remember? Oh man, see, and it's funny because he used to make the D&D coasters and shit like that. So like the
name sound familiar, but I can't.
Oh man, this he for real, like, yo, this is a funny thing. He says, yo, when he was, you know, because that's, you know. You remember we was all supposed to, y'all, when y'all said goodbye to me, right? We were supposed to spend the whole 15 minutes. I was supposed to be late and shit like that. But like, I couldn't do it because like, I didn't cry when I got sentenced, but I cried when I left. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm like, yo. And the whole time, with the whole bus ride there, I'm like, yo, I lost my brothers, yo.
Nah, and I could feel you on that because I remember when you had first asked me how much time I got. Mm-hmm. I seen the hurt in you when I told you the time. I wasn't even that hurt that by the time. I said, "Damn, man, my dude got love for me," because you was like, I could see your wheels, the wheels in your head turn like, "Damn, man, I'm thinking we gonna get out in the world, and my dude still got 8 more years after this." Word, I seen it. I said, "Damn, man, my dude got love for me, man." I said, "That's respect." That's respect.
Man, I said, "Hey, listen, when I die, and look, this is recorded and everything, so like this is whatever on Facebook or YouTube. I don't care. When I die, you get first choice of anything that I own. After that, I don't." So like you say, "Hey, I want all the computers. I want the shit that's in the attic. I want the shit that's in the massage room. I want the fucking cars." It's already there. It's like, yo, you get first choice. I don't care. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? I don't have no kids. You know what I mean? So like even then, I would still be like, you know, if I wouldn't want to put I wouldn't want to put a child in this world unless I could put them around certain people that made me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like, you know, so if, I mean, I paid for a lot of fucking abortions. You know what I mean? I'm guilty of that shit. I'm gonna be honest, but like, I would not, like, you know, go see Uncle Vine, man. You know, you think you know everything. You think you know women. Go talk to Uncle Vine. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like from that genuine and like, even though life is nice here and shit like that, I'm not. Yo, and God forbid. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Universe forbid. But like, yo, a chick ever said like, "Hey, yo, I'm pregnant." I'm like, "Yo, we're getting the fuck up out of here. We'll move to the south."
Right.
Period. It's like, yo, what you mean? Because yo, I know I can force this dude to go from Rochester to the south, but like, I would not raise a kid without like, yo, because you know, it takes a village and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you guys. Everybody was locked up. They were my motherfucking village. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like, even from the level, like, yeah, I think I'm a black Amish dude from Lancaster. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
We can mess with you about that too. I remember that, man. Man, you ain't got nothing down there but Amish people, man.
No. And like, you know, and I tell people, I'm like, yo, man, I remember one time, right? He was like, "Frank, come sit with me," right? And I'm like. But I was so used to the PA table, you know what I mean? And like, I remember when, so like, and you probably remember this too. Like, you know, cause I ate with you. Well, first of all, when I went over there, it was like, "Yo, who you?" I said, you don't even fucking know. You know what I mean? And like, you know, cause I was not.
What was my man from Buffalo with the glasses?
I think that was the one that said it. Like, you know, because he did have. He's like, "Who you?" I said,
and you ended up moving down there to their building. I forgot his name, man.
He's like, "Who are you?" I was like, "You don't even need to know. My paperwork's right. That's it. That's all you need to know. My paperwork's right." You know what I mean? And like, you know, and Cam said something, and then Vaughn said something, and you was like the confirmation, like, "Yo, he's people's, yo." And the way you said it, like.
Ain't nothing else to talk about.
You know what I mean? And like that whole car, that all 13 of them motherfuckers was just like, okay. You know what I mean? And like, you know, from there, like, you know, I'm gonna be honest. This is no ifs, ands, or buts. From McKean to Alamo, from Alamo to McKean. You know what I mean? Rochester, New York, niggas. Gave me the most love. Them in DC.
Right.
You know what I mean? In Baltimore. Like, they like, "Yo, bro." You know what I mean? And when I said, like, you know, because like I said, when I was locked up, I didn't have it. You know what I mean? I didn't get no visits and shit like that. Those dudes was the dudes that was like, "Yo, hey." Because, you know, me being from where I'm from, I was just like, I was not cool. I'm like, you know, with the city, New York City. I know y'all New York, but like, you know, it's like,
but it's kind of like you saying, and I think that's because
I'm gonna keep
Lancaster, you from a small town.
Yeah.
Rochester, we from a small town, so when you from small places, right, and then you go somewhere it's big, and you find people from your town, y'all build, y'all back together because you're already a small town. So like you said, it takes a village to raise people. So now when you already in a small village, that unity y'all is already there because you got the bigger cities already against you. So like New York. Used to always look at Rochester like, man, y'all country, man. You know, always trying to act funny towards us.
I thought y'all was acting funny towards them.
No,
because like from the outside looking in now, like,
you would think that.
Because the way y'all would talk to them, and it's like, yo, I'm like, but like, I never liked them because it was always. I felt like it was. I won't say I never liked them. That's wrong. I would say I never vibed with them heavy because I felt like. Yo, why am I like? I only got so much time in this universe, and the way you're talking is like you're trying to get over. I see your con, I see it, and it's just like, yo, like you know, like them. I'm like, yo, and I remember one time, the one dude with the dreads from New York. I said, yo, man, you know, you gotta expand your hustle because you're like so busy doing all this other shit. But look at them 3 dudes from North Carolina. They're not getting money orders. But they run this compound. They're like hustling and shit like that. The way they hustle, they got their game and shit like that. I said, you guys, man, like it's bad enough that the Bloods, the Mexicans fucked you up and made black people look bad. And like they rebelled on that. They was like, dirty. But like, you know.
No, but if you talk to and that's how I always built with I always got cool with the New York City brothers that been out of the city.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because they done been somewhere. It ain't that we bigger than everybody else. Because you know you from the big city of New York, right? And so this is why if you watch TV, if you notice if somebody that's not from the city on TV, they try to shoot down people from New York, and I think that's because of the ego of the brothers from New York City.
Okay.
A lot of them is real big headed, man. If you ain't from the city, you ain't nowhere. Matter of fact, when I left y'all and they sent me to Ohio,
I left you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all left. You left me already. You went home. But when I left Vaughn.
And Cam.
Yep.
Well, Cam left us.
Cam left us first. I think he went home.
But he came back.
He went home and he came back on violation. But so I left them. And they sent me to Ohio. And when I went to Ohio, it was an Italian kid there. And you know, I never really liked being the car thing. Remember, we always tried to do the Rochester, but we was New York. But we tried to stay Rochester and Buffalo.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If you notice, that's how it was. Rochester, Buffalo.
Was Syracuse.
Sometimes Syracuse was split. Okay. Syracuse was either with us or New York. It was like a half thing. But Rochester and Buffalo, we was like this. Yeah. This the car for real. You know, we New York, but this the car. Rochester and Buffalo. We 30 minutes away. I could ride my bike to Buffalo. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we was always together. But they sent me to Ohio, and I got in a New York car with this big brother, man, cool blood brother, man. This is the first blood brother that was the head of the blood card.
I knew what he was talking about.
Knew what he was talking about and was official. Accepted everybody from New York. He ain't no man. The city, we the shit. No, you from Schenectady? You from New York? Man, you with the car.
So you went from a medium high to a medium, or you went from medium high to
a low?
Oh, okay. So you got points knocking off.
Right.
Okay.
So when I got there, we the car, but then this Italian kid, you know, at first he was like, okay, your name Luck, man. We was vibing, we was cool, kicking it and everything. Then he said, man, look, where you from? I said, Rochester. His whole vibe just went left. He said, oh man, that ain't New York. I said, yo, listen, I was like, oh, he just shot me like that? Yo. I said in my head, you lucky you old Italian bastard. I'll whoop you right now. I'll show you. I gotta be from you.
Yo, you was there too. Remember when Cam was arguing with the New York City niggas? And he was like, yo, and they mentioned Hov. And he's like, what you mean Hov throw off the rock? What you talking about? I was like, oh shit. I was like, these niggas is taking this personal. Because, you know, I used to argue with Philly dudes. You gotta remember, like, I'm like, yo, dog, y'all not family oriented. Y'all, to me, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, yo, listen, oh yeah, we just do this and do that. I'm like, yo, where's your daddy at? You know what I'm saying? Because my mentality is like, yo, listen, you ain't shooting up no motherfucking neighborhood and staying in that motherfucking neighborhood. You better like leave and never come back. So if you feel like, I said, yo, that you just told me your whole neighborhood's pussy. You know what I mean? That's what you're telling me. And like, you know, the battles between them, and, you know, but they really, you know, they learned to shut the fuck up with me, but they really hated Harrisburg for whatever reason. I love Harrisburg.
Yo, that's a fact though. I remember that.
You know, and like I would ride. You know what I mean? It was Harrisburg versus Philly. You know, hey, listen, man, dog. You know, it's funny because like I always felt guilty dealing with you, Vine, and Cam when it came to like that PA beef, especially when it was Pittsburgh versus Philly. You remember that? And it was I was like. And like, yo, Cam said to me, Frank, whoever you're riding with, I'm riding with. And like the Harrisburg niggas was like, yo, Frank, whoever you're riding with, I'm riding with. And it's like, but and the only reason I sold out Philly, you know what I mean, even though Philly's like an hour and a half away, it's because of Dre. Like, you're not touching, you know, Meech too, but like, you know, you're not touching my drunken cousin. Like, yo, like, you know what I mean? And Dre was ready to go out there and shit. Like, you know,
man.
Even though he's a warrior, but like, you know, if he would have fought, like, that's somebody, like, if he would have got hurt, you would have felt guilty. Because, like, you know, because, like, you know, when he was talking to me about, like, you're going to go against us? I'm like, nah, man. Like, you know what I mean? And that really was like, you know, and like, it was hard for me because I owe nobody no loyalty, and I learned not to love people for their cars, but love people for who they was as people. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it's like, it's even when it was the Bloods versus the Muslims, and I don't think you was there for that. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you know, when that shit happened, and I'm in the midst of that chaos and shit like that, you know, I know Jizz is, you know me, I know certain people are Muslims, and like the certain people are, and I'm like, yo, both of y'all motherfuckers are giving me soup, so I'm a broke ass nigga, you know what I mean, this motherfucker. And it's like, yo, both of y'all show me love and shit like that. So I literally ran out that, you know, and sometimes, and, you know, I really hated cars because I felt like I learned to hate cars because of the last ride I was in, because like when we separated, we said let the Bloods handle that, and I felt like it made black people look bad. Like, you know what I mean? I felt like I agree. That last ride, I felt like it made black people, because like we did not have the Bloods back, and we wasn't supposed to, because they said to fuck us and shit like that. But like, and I felt like they learned a lesson and shit like that. But
they don't.
But they were still robbing them. Like, come on, they learn. Like, we know it was getting them Mexicans. Like, fuck out of here. You ain't gonna do. Cause like this tall, you know, niggas is 5'10" or better in the feds if you're black. They're like, they think they're tall if they're 5'7". So like, yeah, I understand you think you can rob this motherfucker. You know what I mean? I get it. You know what I mean? And I understand, you know, okay, this guy wants 4 suits back for 2 suits. You know what I mean? But like, he's saying, yo, I'm gonna give you a 6-month extension compared to the guy that wants 3 suits back if you give him 2 suits. If he gives you 2 suits. So I understand the whole extension shit. Like, their counter was a little bit different. It was more time consuming and shit like that. You know what I mean? And they played off your time with the hustle. So, but like, maybe it was just the way they did it, because it was like, yo, fuck y'all, I ain't get shit from me. You know what I mean? And like, maybe, like, I understand, like, so it was hard. I still can't, like, even now, I'm just trying to. That was very sloppy on, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. But like, I understand why people say, yo, fuck them, that's their business. Because when we try to straighten it out the way we wanted to straighten it out, they said, nah, we got this. Because they thought they had all the shanks, and they didn't realize.
Right.
Those Mexicans had shanks out the motherfucking ants and shit like
buried
that.
In the ground.
But you knew that.
But it was militant though, and you know that's one thing I did respect about the Mexicans, man. Paisa, Yetas, and MS-13, they was militant. Like when the leader went and got them to go work out. Like for instance, like let's say me and you, we cool, and then we got Von, and we got Cam, we got Lou, we got D Ruggs, we got Dre, we got dudes that we mess with, Black. But if we wanted to say, yo man, why don't we all go out there and work out? Only 2 of us gonna go work out. You know what I'm saying?
But you gotta say,
the Mexicans. 15 of them out there doing burpees. I don't care how bad body shape they is. They don't get no muscles or whatever. They going out there and they was militant.
I felt like y'all had y'all workout crew. I had mine.
Right.
You know what I mean? And y'all guys was working out in the morning, and I just needed that. I just wanted to walk the track and clear my mind.
Clear your mind.
You know what I'm saying? And I understand. I seen y'all, but my workout time was lunchtime. You know what I mean? Where I was like, okay, you know, my mind's clear. Let me work out. And like I couldn't, like I just really needed to. That's why I was always out the first call. You know what I mean? Right after breakfast, I would go, and if I didn't have to do the unicorn thing. And just walk the track because I had to clear my mind. You know, we're locked up. You know, so it wasn't personal where it was like, yo, hey, we want to work out first thing in the morning. I couldn't. My mind is still like, yo, I have to. You know, you ever heard that term? Don't let 5 minutes ruin a good day. You know what I mean? I had to like. You know, and I was jealous of y'all that y'all was getting visits and shit like that. I wasn't, you know what I mean? I was happy for y'all, you know what I'm saying? But I watched this Drink Champs, and the dude was like, yeah, I don't think jealousy's a sin. And I agree to that, you know what I mean? Because it's nothing wrong. Like, let's just say, look, you're married, you know what I mean? I don't think, because there's a part of me that says, hey, yo, okay, Luck's married. He not only is he married, his wife held him down right. You know what I mean? I want a love like that. I deserve a love like that. That's not, but like, I think envy's a sin to say, how come Luck got it and I don't? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? But to see you got something good going on for yourself and say, I deserve that too, I don't think that's a
fine line. And I think, you know, coming from a spiritual aspect of it and knowing the law, right? I would have to agree with you that jealousy is not a sin until what you let jealousy make you do. Then it could become a sin.
Okay, fair point.
Now, but envy, that's a fine line because when we deal with the law of covetousness, don't covet what your neighbor has. Don't covet your neighbor's wife. You know what I mean? So that's coveting, and coveting and envy is it's a thin line. Like, you know how they say thin line between love and hate. Because you could see somebody say got a nice car, you might say I want that. Doesn't mean that you envy them. But then sometimes you got those dudes that see the car and they hate that you got it, so now that's envy. Right?
Yeah. Like, why does this nigga have a nice car?
Right. So I would say that's a sin. Envy is a sin.
Envy.
So,
like, even with the whole, because my hustle was selling the black and white porn, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you know, but like when people seen how I was doing it, like, you know what I mean? Like, because I always felt like to the other people that was doing it, I never gave a fuck. You know what I mean? Okay, you. All I know is that you was charging 3 stamps for the black and white porn. But you would go up there, pay 25 cents. What was it, 25 cents for 4 copies and shit like that. And I was charging 2 stamps for the black and white porn. And but like, you know what I mean? And I wasn't greedy. I just needed a soup at night, 2 soups at night. That's it. You know what I mean? And like even days when I didn't have it, you know what I mean? My celly Ian would be like, yo, listen, man. He'd say, hey, yo, you would never have to ask for coffee. You would never have to ask for, you know what I mean? Like, once Ian, he was like,
Ian stayed in that corner up there by the TV.
Yes.
And it just came to me.
Bald whitehead dude with the long beard.
Beard. It came to me.
Everybody told me his name. Listen, when people was like, they was like, yo, you're smart. And that man said, like, look, first of all, he been in the prison the longest. So, like, you know, his number is like under 100. You know what I mean? Where mine was like 13. I don't want to remember that shit.
My number too.
I don't want to remember that. But like, you know, so like his number was like, he was like one of the first people federally incarcerated, and so he had he had a lot of pull. He never mismanaged that. You know what I'm saying? So when it came to me and him, and he like teaching me. You know what I mean? So it's like even when people was like, yo, why you dealing with him? He done killed 100 niggas in DC. It was like, yo, man, this man's teaching me how to fucking write. You know what I mean? Because I told him I wanted to be an author. Every time I wrote something in my book, you know what I mean? This and that. Listen, when I went to the hole, they took all my shit.
I remember that.
Yo, and they threw it in the trash. He's like, yo, you either gotta mail this out, and I didn't have no money. You know what I mean? So all my dreams and goals and shit like that, all my books and stories and shit like that, they got thrown in the trash. And it's like, think about 9 years worth of shit.
I know, because you was mad. I remember when you came out. I remember you let me read some of the stories that you was coming up with.
Yo, and it was just like, so all that shit gets thrown in the motherfucking trash, except 4 books. And the only reason why them 4 books didn't get thrown in the trash is because Ian read them and typed them up and said, yo, here you go. He said, I seen what they did to you. And he held up. You remember, this is a big thing. When you hold down the cell. When your cellie goes to the hole, nobody's coming in here.
Yep.
But and it's like, yo, so little things like that. And it's like, I didn't even want to go in the cell when it was offered because, you know what I mean? I was a 10-man person, I like talking. I'm a Gemini. And this nigga was like, excuse me, this guy was like, yo, let me teach you. And this man broke down my grammar to the point to sentences and shit like that. And you gotta remember, once I started talking with Ian, I started talking different. And it's like, I started speaking more proper and, it broke my heart because, like, that's the only person I tried to visit when I was locked, when I came free. It's like, once I got off the papers, I said, send me the visiting form. Maybe they would allow it. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't allow it. And that's the last time we spoke. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I feel like I owe that man so much. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's like he cried.
Sometimes we don't never get to give people that old saying, give them their roses, man, while they're here. Sometimes we don't get to give people them roses.
Yo, if they say, yo, he needs a house to come home to, I'll be like, yo, he got my shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then if they was like, yo, the guest bedroom ain't good enough, he has to take the master bedroom. I'm like, yo, where do I sign? Because, like, all that knowledge he gave me, you know what I'm saying? Like, the reason why I speak a little bit different from most people is because of that motherfucker. He's like, yo. He's like, nah. He's like, see, I understand what you're saying, but you gotta put the parentheses right here, you know?
Like, and I could never hate that man. I know, like I said, a lot of us get a bad rep for it because of when we teaching the truth, it sounds like we hate white people, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't hate them because the scriptures tell you don't hate your brother, man. They still our brothers, right? So
I'm gonna drink this last drink.
Right. For one, the scriptures tell you to test the spirit. So testing the spirit, these people have souls and spirits. So you got to test the spirit to see if this person is a wicked person or an evil person, man. Ian wasn't an evil dude. Man, people change over time. No matter what he did before, I said this before, and I said this on a skit that I had made before. A man's past does not define who he is now.
But okay, I'm gonna tell you something. Cause like, when I read the article, I was like, oh shit. And then me and him, we was playing a game of chess. I said, why? Why would you kill all them black people? Why? Why would you do it? Right? And he was like, so I already knew his childhood, you know what I mean? And like, he's a very open, well, he was, that was my white uncle, you know what I'm saying? And like, but when he told me what happened, and I'm like, yo, the media turned this into a race thing. Because all it was somebody robbed him for crack, you know what I mean? And he had a 38, And the bitch that opened the door and said, you ain't getting your crack, you ain't getting none of this shit, spitting in his motherfucking face. And, you know, he just couldn't take it no more. You know what I mean? He had like, you know, and like, you know, I also learned that, like, you know, leave people alone that just want to get by. You know what I mean? Those are the, like, to me, everybody says, yo, you know, the Illuminati is the most dangerous people in the world. No, they're not to me. You know what I mean? Leave people alone that just wants to get by. Because, like, you got to think, like, you know, like, even in the most, when it came to cell action, the most brutal ass whoopings I seen was the people that, like, damn, I didn't even see that in that dude. You know what I mean? Because he just wanted to get by in his sentence. He just wanted to do his time and be left alone. But you said, up. You know what I mean? And even with me, like, you know what I mean? Like the first, my first 3 fights in Allenwood, right? I'm going to tell you, my first fight was with a Philly dude. It just happened. But he was like a Golden Glove, and a lot of people were scared of him. But it's like, yo, listen, dog, I've been beat up all my life. You don't want this. You know what I mean? I'm like, and like, you know, because you know, I'm generally nice. Please excuse me, thank you. You know what I mean? My mom raised me. You know what I mean? My dad raised me right. You know, whether he's my stepdad or whatever. These are the motherfuckers that raised me right. You know what I'm saying? Please excuse me, thank you. But don't take this please excuse me, thank you as something. You know, yeah. You know what I mean? So when he took it that way, and it was like, yo, whatever. Well, you won't come in that cell. It was like, just the fuck I would, just because you fucked up that dude, whatever. My second fight, right? Everybody said I won, right? And the dude, he was, you know what I mean, the workout king and shit like that, and he said I won, right? And this is the fight where, you ever had the fight of your life?
I don't think so.
I had the fight of my life. This guy gave me the fight of my life. You know what I mean? And I was only 1 year in, and I just, like, you know what I mean, but like, and like, I thought I won. I'm gonna be honest, I thought I won. Until I went to the bathroom at 12 o'clock at night, and that shit was nothing but, it wasn't piss, it was nothing but blood. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I thought I won. Like, you know, we're both lumped up and shit like that, and we're both, you know what I mean, like this, you know, because you can't, you don't want to see us and say, hey, put one and one together, and shit like that. That, you know what I mean? So, like, I thought I won. You know what I mean? Until I went to the bathroom at night. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, dude, he, you know, he shook my hand. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he's like, yo, you got that. You know what I mean? It was like, he's like, yo. And like, you know, my Sally, he was a robber too. So like, you know, the fact that, like, you know, he met me, he was like, oh shit, you told the judge, you know, his life before, you know, once that paperwork come in and people actually read it and shit, like what's, you know, they thought I was a little thrown off, but I was just like, I don't know, maybe I am, but you know, I you know, so,
or maybe you was.
Maybe I am, you know what I mean? Maybe I was,
yeah, maybe you was. Now I would say, like I said, I don't think so, but. You know, it probably was, like I said, a man's past doesn't define who he is.
Yeah.
And that question, though, you asked, I had to sit here. I'm still sitting here thinking, like, dang, I never had to fight in my life. But it made me remember, I had to fight where I was hoping somebody saved my life. Listen, so I'm gonna tell you this quick story, little short story. So I was in a drug house for one of my cousins before, man, the past being, and there was this kid in here in the house with me, and he was one of them dudes that do a lot of foul stuff in the streets.
Okay.
Long story short, I don't know, while he's serving this customer that's coming to get some work, that he opened the bags of crack. We had some crack at the time. He opened the bags of crack. And the dude had $100. He said he gonna send him 8 ball. He sent him like 6 bags and put them in a sandwich bag. He turned it down and told the dude it was an 8 ball. The dude walked out the house, walked out the yard, and left down the street. When he opened the bags, he knew that wasn't an 8 ball. But this is like almost 30 minutes later, right? Now, so we hungry. I send dude to go get us some subs. So while he going to get the subs, dude come back and was like, yo, man, send me my money. Now, I'll go answer the window. He like, yo, man, you just took my money in. This ain't what I want. I said, man, I ain't send you nothing. I said, I don't know what you talking about, 'cause I didn't know the transaction. You know, I finding all this stuff out after dude come back. So he like, yo, man, if you don't send me my money, I'm coming back. I'm about to shoot this joint up. And I said, damn, this crackhead must got some. artillery with him. I said, I gotta go across the street, man, go get this artillery there, man, before he come back. So when dude come back with our food, I'm like, yo, I gotta go back, man. This dude said you sold him some BS, man. He about to shoot up the house. So what you getting us into, man? So anyway, I go across the street. And when I go across the street, dude is in the house that I'm going to. The one he beat. And I'm like, I'll go see, rest in peace, my dude Virus. I'm like, yo, Virus. Hey, yo, man, that's the kid right here. I'm like, yo, man, we might as well handle this outside right now, man, because I ain't take your money and I ain't got nothing to give you, man. So we might as well go fight. Now, this is a grown man. I'm 16. This dude 35. But I was always known to be able to be a good fighter. No matter how humble I am, I don't like to fight. But I knew how to fight. Man, me and the old head get outside, man. I hit him with 2 quick punches and the old head grabbed me and he had that old man strength.
Oh, shit.
And took me down to the ground and he got me in the chokehold and he choking me out and I could feel I'm about to die. And I'm like, yo, I'm trying to get out. And I'm like, somebody please help me. And Virus, man, rest in peace and bless his soul. Man, he remembered we was kids. He said, I'm not about to let... He might have knew old head. I'm not about to let him kill Luck. He came out with that 38 and just started popping in the air. He was going to shoot him because we both on the ground. Pop, pop, dude, let go. He's like, yo, man, what you doing? He said, man, get off of Luck like that, man. Yo, I get up. I'm like... I'm like, man, I'm glad he came out. He saved my life. Then a red car rolled up. So the dude got to make his phone call. He runs to the car. Gets a little 22 rifle, throws the clip in, and he's shooting at me. Man, we only probably 5 feet apart. And I don't know how I'm not hit. Every time he pulled the trigger, I'm just trying to look at the gun where it's at and move the opposite way. And I'm like, and I could see he getting frustrated like he ain't hitting me. Man, he runs up with that gun and that barrel touched my cheek and it was hot. I had a burn mark right here after that. And I grabbed the barrel and I'm pulling it away from my face. Pow! That shit. I said, man, he trying to kill me. And I tried to kick him off the gun. He fall down and the gun fall out my hand though. He got the gun still. He fall. And man, he trying to load it up, but he can't get it to work. And dudes just started shooting at him. Pow, 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 pow. And he pulled off. And yo, man, I just started crying.
Oh, shit, yo.
I just started crying.
Oh, shit. I'm going to tell you something, Yo, so last night, right?
Yeah.
You know, this Philly chick, she introduced me to her cousin, right?
Right.
And the cousin's like, I know you. Where you been? I'm like, you don't know me. I don't be in the city no more. I live a different lifestyle, this and that. So she said, nah, I know you from a long time ago. And she mentioned this Jamaican spot called the Caribbean Breeze that used to, whatever. Right? So, it was a time where my cousin got into an incident, you know what I mean? And the way she's breaking it down, she's just looking at me and she's smiling. The girl, she don't even realize what's being said. Like, you know what I mean? But I'm like, oh shit, this bitch is dangerous. Let me cause like, yo, she's like, yeah. She's like, yo, I know you. Is this? She said, you don't got all your marbles and shit like that. And I'm like, what you mean? I'm like, yo, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, yo, I have a podcast, lady, relax. What are you talking about? I'm really trying. Because she's like, yeah, but she said, I know people. She started mentioning names and shit like that. And I said, yeah, I remember him. I said, yeah, I play dudes at a distance. My block is my block. Back in the day when it was corners, and their block was making more money than my block, and I wasn't jealous. It's just that we just said hi to each other when we seen each other. But the story she was telling, the girl was like, and the whole time I'm like, yo, I'm looking at the girl. I'm like, yo, you're ignorant to what this girl's trying to tell you. You know what I mean? And so I had to give this girl a compliment. Yo, you know what? You are beautiful. You are. I had to cause she brought up a time where, most dudes would brag about being in that type of situation. You know what I mean? And to me, I'm like, motherfucker, I might have looked like the star in that motherfucking situation. But I remember that bullet went, Like, I might have looked like the star that motherfucker. Like, you know, and she's breaking it down. She's like, yeah, they used to act wild there. I was like, yeah, people used to do act wild. She's like, yeah, I remember one time, and you know, I'm like to I feel like if you give me the shock factor, you know what I mean, you got me. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And I'm like really altering this conversation to her ego and shit like that. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, you are beautiful. I see why you got this nice house. You know, I'm really on like, and the whole time I'm like, you know, and this is what I was like. I'm looking at the girl that took me here, and you know what I mean. And I'm just like, oh man, you don't get what you didn't get the hidden message and shit like that. She like, cause basically she just told you that's not a nigga to fuck with. You know what I'm saying? Right. But you didn't get that, and she's basically saying, nigga, I got one up on you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, yo, let's not. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, let's not talk about the old Frank, because even though I was a clown dude, I look at myself as a clown dude when I was getting money and shit like that, because I was a goofy ass motherfucker. So, you know, sometimes, you know what I mean, I was the good clown, sometimes I got clowned. But like that time right there where she spoke up, bitch, you bold. You like, okay, I know, you know what, I know not to make you an enemy. You know what I'm saying? And like she went into detail, and she's like, really, oh yeah, but I don't remember who had the gun and who had this and who had that. And you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, yo, you know, even though statute of limitations is something, whatever, I still don't like the, you know, the whole, you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, it was all over a bitch. I was like, let me shut the fuck. I was like, oh, so far. I had to swallow, you know me, like, you know, yo. But no, let me give New York City the props. You know what I mean? Dude from New York City taught me how to argue back. You know what I mean? He's like, yo, bro, let me tell you something. You got the truth. You're the truth, but you don't know how to say it. And I used to follow him in the yard. He said, just watch how I do this shit. Watch how I manipulate. Watch how I do. But he thought I was watching to become him. I was watching him to watch out for what the game he was kicking. You know, I'm a Gemini. You know what I mean? So like, you know, I was watching that.
Looking at both sides.
Yeah. So I'm like, yo, oh shit, this.
Looking at both sides.
You. Like, damn, this grimy shit's on another level. And then, you know, and I used to always talk to them like, yo, whatever happened to being a good person? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, fuck that. You know what I mean? You don't understand this. Yo, you ever talk to a New York bitch? Yeah, I talked to a few. You're right. Like, right. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so yeah, that is
It's crazy though that you when you said that you was not watching them just to see how he do it, but watching them to also peep how the game is ran, so you'll know what's going on. And the reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of people look at Geminis, even though I don't subscribe to it no more. I was born in May, you know. I don't subscribe to that no more. I still got to do research about that. You know what I mean? Research about this stuff and where Gemini and the zodiac signs come from. If it was something that was Israelite things or wherever it's come from, if it was witchcraft, sorcery, whatever, whatnot. But it holds some truth to it. Because the reason I say this is because they say Gemini supposed to be split personality. I don't think it's just split personality. I think it's that we double-minded on everything. Yes. So when you say that, it's because of how you just said that you watch them to learn and watch them to check the bullshit, to catch the BS. And I notice a lot of stuff in life, I do that. I double-mind things. I see this truth, but where the other side of this at? I look at it on both sides of the fence. I see it from both angles. I try to, you know what I mean? So I think it's more than just being double-minded. A split personality.
And yo, truth be told, I am manipulative. But in order for that to like, come on, let's be honest. We was in the feds. You know what I mean? So you might look at me as a green person and shit like that. But motherfucker, like, you know, you're saying you thought you was hustling me because I was giving you porn, black and white porn for 2 stamps. And you was selling it for 3. But yo, I paid nothing for it. And I knew that you had to pay 3 stamps to make 10 copies, excuse me. So like my hustle was already there. So like to let you think you conned me, what did I lose? You know what I'm saying? Like nigga, you know what I mean? Like you would never know that teacher to the point where the teacher was like, you know, you remember he came to all of us and he said, yo, I like the way y'all are trying to stay positive. And I'm like, yo, it's hard. It's hard. And he was like, Frank, chill. I'm like, nah, you don't understand. It's hard. So that's why we just play our Dungeons and Dragons and leave us the fuck alone and shit. He's like, no, I'm supportive of that because, you know, listen, and that teacher, you know what I mean, he believed that we deserve to be happy and shit like that, but everybody else was like, remember, even the warden spoke out against us playing that, you know what I mean, like, yo, hey, I don't like this.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And he kept on, like, yo, we had to navigate and this and that. And, you know, we had to tell, what's his name? We had to tell Ghost not to invite the one dude and because once he gave us the books, once he gave me the books and we copied them, I felt, even that, you gotta think. Dude from Chicago, the Italian dude, you got all the money. Great, cool, fine, great. You know what I mean? Hey, these are my books. Y'all gonna play Dungeons and Dragons to me. But yet, you know, Ian gave me the spinners. You know what I mean? He did that for me. And then you gotta think of part 2. Motherfucker, while you're giving me the books, I'm telling you I'm only making 1 copy because that's all I can afford to do. But yet the whole time, this teacher, we're making 7 copies of each page and shit like that. And we're passing out amongst each other to the point where we're like, oh yeah. Man, fuck your Dungeons and Dragons. We done banked up. And to the point where you had new campaigns and we still didn't want to play with y'all because we have our own campaign. Yep. And it's like I remember because, you know what I mean? I got a disagreement, let's just say. You know what I mean? Because when I grabbed dude like that, and you got up, and you was like, yo, because I think it was like, the rest of all of them was from Chicago. And they was like, Frank, chill. I'm like, nah, this motherfucker's being a dickhead and shit like that. But I waited. I waited until I had enough to copy I had to wait until I was able to copy this. Once this touched my hand, and I was like, yo, I was ready to take you know what I mean? Once this touched my hand, it was like, man, fuck you, nigga. Like, yo, who you talking to? I said, yo, we can do this our motherfucking self and shit like that. And he didn't catch on to the point because he was just so busy being egotistical, you know what I'm saying, and just being a rotten person. Because like, remember, he was about to fight Frazier too, you know what I mean. And I didn't want to grab him, but like, I just felt like, nigga, like, I rolled the 20. Like, that's the first time I ever rolled a 20. You're not taking this. You know what I'm saying? You're not taking this. This is the first time I rolled a 20.
He was a petty dude.
Yeah.
Now, we talk about us being petty. We be petty on a minor scale. That was a petty dude to where you wanted to whoop him.
Yeah. I did. But was it you or was it Ghost at Grandma?
I don't think it was. I think it was Ghost. I used to sit by Ghost. Yeah. You on that side. It was me on this side, and I think
the dude from DC. The dude from DC who was Frazier's little bro. That was a paladin. I'm like, yo, dog, you're not even good. It's just that Frazier likes you because you say yes to everything he said.
Right.
But like, yeah. Right. But it was Ghost that had my arm, and I had. Because he did a cheat code too, so I knew it was going to be a good run.
Frazier was a good DM though.
Yo, yes, he was. He
was a good
but
DM,
see,
man.
and that's the thing. Like, yo, I'm like, yo, dog, we got a great campaign going on. We got a lot of things.
What happened to Frazier?
Yeah, I don't know. Remember it was I remember the Mexican dude introduced me to Frazier. Because, you know, first of all, let's give roses. You introduced me to fantasy books. I started talking fantasy books to this dude, and this dude started speaking Dungeons and Dragons to me. And Frazier, you know, whatever, you know, he was.
Because you know, me and Frazier, we all came to the compound together.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know. If I ain't never tell you that story, I don't know how I ain't never tell you that story. The way I met Frazier is in Canaan.
Okay.
We used to be in Canaan playing Risk.
Okay.
We was playing the Army game Risk, and that's what we used to always do when they lock us out before lock-in.
Mm-hmm.
We used to go up there and play Risk, and then we was playing something else, man. I don't remember if we started playing poker or whatever, but we was playing Risk and poker, and that's what we used to come in and do. And then, you know, Frazier was telling me where he was going to McKean, and I said, "Oh man, I'm going to McKean." Next thing you know, we all got up doing the DM thing and everything. That was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah, and you know, Frazier was like, "Yo, they need a wizard." I said, he came to me and said, "They need a wizard." I said, "Sir, I would be the greatest wizard you ever seen." And even though I broke bad, my spells was on point.
You know, I was hating when you said you was our good wizard. You was when dudes needed healing and protection and shields, yo, you was there. You was there. You was there.
Yo, you remember I set the dude up to die? The other dude? Oh, we had to, oh man. You're bringing it back. It was the one play. Look, like when I had the campaign, I realized, yo, Frazier set me up for failure because we could fly. You know what I mean? Once I was level 6, I thought I was better than everybody. You gotta remember that. I said, oh, I got fly now. I got this spell now. I got this spell. Fuck with me if you want. I remember it was the one touch. It was the ghoul. It wasn't ghoul. What ghoul touch or something like that? I can't remember.
It might have been ghoul touch.
Yo,
you did have some.
I said, fuck with me if you want. Fuck with me when you want. How you want? What's weak about you? I already know. It's your fortitude, your constitution. It's not weak. It's not like that. You know what? It's your wisdom. Go ahead. I have you smacking this motherfucker, and then having my back while we jump him, and then having you killing yourself. And Frazier put his head down like I created a monster. I was like, yo, what
remember the campaign? It's almost like, it's crazy. I can almost remember this. It's crazy how we had this vision, man, when you had the map. We was walking through the sand, but we had to go into the water, and some monsters came up. Frazier made some monsters come out the water, and we was all stuck in the water battling these monsters for a minute before we got out there. Man, listen, man. I said, man, you had to come up with some type of spell that you had casted, man, that had got us out of there. I forgot what it was, but we was about to die. Yeah. We was about to die. And Frazier was like, yo, all of y'all about to die. And remember, we had to come back, and he said, man, y'all better think of something, because all of y'all about to die.
Yo, I remember that and part 2 where we was talking to he was like a level 20, and we did not know that. But he was what you call that something, and it's like I was like, because I was the only person that was able to speak to him because I was neutral. You know what I mean? I wasn't. You know what I mean? And I rolled that 20 and shit like that, and I was like, oh, cool.
I remember that.
Yeah, and that saved the kid, cause like part 2, and you might do this, cause Frazier was like, y'all gonna die today, and I was like, impossible, and shit like that, and I forgot the tell you dude from Chicago, but like, once the dude with Drake, I call him Frazier's pet. I forgot the dude from DC, but like I called him Frazier's pet. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, listen, you're Frazier's pet, and you're only blessing yourself, but you ain't blessing the whole party and shit like that. It's just. I just kind of find it funny that you're the only one with +8 armor and shit like that. But go ahead, keep fighting, because I'm a wizard and I don't fight anyway. So therefore, you're just doing my job. So,
it's like his face want to come to my vision.
He looked like Wale.
Man, when you said that, I almost had it. Because I could picture him. I almost had it, but I can't get it.
They was all Moors. It was all Morse, and they was like,
all Morse science.
Yeah, and like and like like you knew we were outside looking at. We knew they had a little brotherhood that was a little pack that was, you know, even though one was from Chicago, one was from whatever, DC. They was brothers. You know what I mean? That was Frazier's little motherfucking brother. So there's no way. And that's what I told the Italian dude. I'm like, yo, man, you're using your jealousy towards me. You're using your jealousy towards this dude, but like, you're always challenging the DM, and it's just like, we're just trying to rock out and just, you know what I mean, just fuck shit up. We just really want to fuck up monsters, you know. I just really want to cast these spells and just you know, whatever. And
but you would use my little spread on my bows and all.
You know, but you remember I let the dude die, right? You know what I mean? It was I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna show. I'm gonna bring you back to the map. It was 3. It was the Forgotten King, and this was the hardest.
I remember that story.
Yeah,
I remember that once you said the Forgotten
King. So it was the part where it was like 3 parts, and it was he was the barbarian, and this motherfucker used to always pick on me, and to the point where I was just like, yo, until I was able to cast Ghoul Touch. I said, you know what I mean? And he was kind of afraid of me. He's like, yo, listen, Frank can fuck you up now. You know, shit like that. And I'm like, don't tell him that. This and that. And, so like, you know, he's like, yeah, you know, the way he was, he played the perfect barbarian too, by the way. And I think I just played the perfect wizard too, but he said, you know, so I cast Fly. And Frazier was like, yo, you need to roll a 10 or better. You know what I mean? And I rolled a 10. And like I said, yo, well, what's on this side? You know what I mean? And what's on this side? What's on this side? And he's like, well, you can't send him over there. I'm like, yes, I can, because, like, you know, he doesn't fly. I cast Fly, so I control his fly. And he was just mad as fuck at me, yo. Oh, man, I forgot. You knew him, too, because he was from Chicago. Man, Chicago is some of the realest people in the motherfucking world. And, he was so motherfucking mad at me because, you know, because he was a barbarian with the gold armor and shit like that, and I was like, yo, and he thought he was smarter than what he really was, but I set him up to fail, because I was like, yo, go scout, you know what I mean? I'm sending him over to the scout and shit like that, this and that, and now, truth be told, because the campaign's over and it's been like 20 years or 10 years or whatever, probably 15 years, I had the campaign. You know what I mean? So, like, you know, because Frazier was like, I need copies, but I need you not to read it. Can you just copy it, and, you know, whatever? Because he didn't like that Chicago dude either. You know what I mean?
No, nobody did.
But like the Chicago,
did, but come on, had to deal with him for a while. Man.
So
nobody
like,
did.
So
like you said, he always kept challenging Frazier. He made the campaign difficult. He was like a pain, man.
And when Frazier made that ninja and they was fighting and shit like that. Like, yo, let him in, you know what I mean? Let him in. He gave you a +4 sword and shit like that. You didn't have to challenge the ninja. Yep. You know what I mean? You were like, yo, not ninja,
he was
assassin.
The assassin. He was mad about that assassin. I remember now, because Frazier had messed him up. Matter of fact, didn't Frazier kill his character? Frazier, this is the first time I laughed, because listen,
but that was the whole room laughed, and I was so. And when I laughed, I was like, oh shit, I shouldn't have laughed, because this guy's gonna get super petty. No, my dex is this. No, my dex is this. You cannot do this, because, you know what I mean? I cast it. You know, I already started the campaign with immune to poison. You know, and like I'm a minotaur, so minotaurs are yo. It was like straight gangsters talking about minotaurs.
About minotaurs and all that. Listen, man, it was crazy, man. But that kept us escape from the time in prison. Man.
I remember when Hype walked in, and he was like, "Yo, 2 drug lords, two murderers, a bank robber, and another bank robber." He's like, why y'all even like? He's like, but y'all playing this game. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. But we turned that whole joint out though, man. People wanted to come back there and watch us play. Then when we had got the Magic the Gathering cards, we had everybody in the little game room at the desk.
I wasn't good at that. I was good, but I wasn't good.
Right.
And then, even though the like me and the Italian dude almost got into it, he gave me a deck.
He gave you a deck.
He
had to respect you though. You know what I mean? Even if he still didn't kind of like you, he had to respect you.
He gave me a deck. He's like, yo, you know what, man? Because I think he knew he was wrong. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like I don't jump up like that. You know what I'm saying? And but I felt like Ghost knew what was about to happen and this and that. So like this dude's grabbing me, trying to grab me off of me, and like this, and I'm left-handed.
Because it was Ghost. Because for real, Ghost was
he had
peacemaker.
He had this. Yo, he had both of his arms. And this and that. But yo, the one, Frazier's pet, the dude from DC, he said, I remember this, he said, yo, Ghost got his arm. If you swing, it's on. And I was really like, oh shit, these people got, but you don't think about that when you're whatever, you know what I mean? Because all you're thinking is like, and I didn't mean to disrespect Frazier or Ghost, but I'm like, yo, why you grabbing my arm? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, why y'all selling me out? And you came to me later and said, yo, Frank, they wasn't selling you out. They was just trying to save you from doing more time and and all this other shit. And it was just like, I'm like, nah, fuck that though. I rolled a 20. That was my shine. I was like, my first 20 I rolled and shit like that. That was my shine. I don't care. He took it from me and like that motherfucker.
I remember the first time that I had seen Ghost, right? Mm. At first I used to think Ghost was sweet. Mm. You know what I mean? But because the way he talked, I used to think he was sweet. And then I seen it just the way he talked. He had that, not a lisp, but he had a way of speaking like it seemed kind of feminine. Mm-hmm. But nah, Ghost was cool as that.
Yeah.
Ghost was cool.
Mm-hmm. It was cool. You know, part of me wants to go to Chicago. But I'm like, I don't know where these motherfuckers is at. Even the Mexican dude that introduced me to all this shit. Like, I don't know.
I'm gonna try to look Frazier up, man. I forgot his first name though.
Yeah, but you don't need his first name.
Why?
Yeah. All you need is, cause he was a vice lord, right?
He was the vice lord.
Yeah, cause I remember they got into that little beef and shit like that, and. He's like, Frank, just come outside.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you something else that was crazy about that Mexican thing. The Mexicans and the blacks, supposed to be Mexican in blood, but the Mexican and blacks. Another thing that was crazy is like I felt like stuff was preparing me to get ready to be in the media. When I was in Brooklyn, MDC Brooklyn, I came across this book written by Tookie Williams. I think it was called Blue something. Mm-hmm. I forgot the name of it now. Mm-hmm. But he was telling the brothers how to be prepared for when you in there with these Mexicans. Mm-hmm. And he said, man, listen, y'all think that it said it in the book. It said you think the Mexicans is going to be going against one source of blacks. But whenever it go down against the blacks and the Mexicans, they going to go against all blacks. They hate blacks.
See, we wasn't prepared for that though.
And when I read that, I remember that. And so when that joint had went down, I went back to the unit and I told the fellas, man, blacks don't stick together. We might as well not go out there. And Lou was like, man, you crazy, man. That's with the Bloods. I said, nah, it ain't just with the Bloods, Lou. They gonna be fighting all blacks. And he said, man, you tripping, love, man. So you gonna stay inside? I said, yup.
Who was the DC dude, the old DC dude? He grabbed me and said, yo, don't go out there. I said, yo, that has nothing to do with me. I'm playing basketball. And I should have listened. You know what I mean? He's like, come on. Because, like, besides Cam and Von, I was like, it was Cam first to go home, then Von, then me. You know what I mean? Amongst us. You know what I mean? And I should have listened. Because, you know what I mean? Because it's like, yo, okay. Because I'm going to be honest, that dude, like, cause I was like, oh shit, these motherfuckers are really tripping and shit like that. I remember talking to Jizz like this, cause I'm like, cause we didn't think they would come into court. You know what I mean? Once I realized what it was and shit like that, I'm thinking they're gonna stay out there. And that basketball went boom. So I charged, You know what I mean? But like when I look, there's like 30, 40 of them. Like what? You know what I mean? But I'm charging. But like I did not know. The Muslims had the baseball bats already in hand and shit like that So like, there's a part of me that wants to say like, yo, hey, I had heart to go out there. There's a part of me that says, yeah, I fought 2 Mexicans in a riot, but I didn't go outside in the yard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just be honest. You know what I mean? I didn't go outside in the yard where it was like really going down. Where I was at, we had the numbers, and they got demolished there, but like, I know what happened. I heard the screams. You gotta think that was like a 45-minute.
Man,
45.
A lot of dudes that came back, man, from the hole told me how that looked out there.
It was 45 minutes for like what happened in the yard. Like I cannot say. But if it was anything like what happened in the yard in Allenwood, but blacks had the numbers. But I know in there Mexicans had the number. There was like 600 to like, it was like 600 to like what like 150. Wild guess, you know what I mean? But like, you know,
even before when they called that little one-way move,
and that's where it's
you
like
seeing how many Mexicans was going out compared to the blacks.
But like, and the whole time I'm thinking basketball. Like, yeah, this shit has nothing to do. You know what I mean? Like, and dudes from DC's like, yo, oh god, wait, that's a McLeod. Oh, all right, we did enough for the pre-show. Are you ready for the big show?
Let's go.
Okay. But there's a McLeod that just hit me up. I don't know what the fuck. Are you tapped?
Who the heck that is?
Okay, well, I'm about to tell you.